it throughout the day, okay? And here we come to this idea of moving and building strength. There was a study done at the University of Ottawa up in Canada. They took a 22-week study with 251 people ages 39 to 70 who had type 2 diabetes. And what were they going to do? They divided them into different groups, as they usually do. And one of the groups was a group that was going to do aerobic exercise 45 minutes 3 times a week, okay? I don't know, I guess it was 45 minutes at once. I'm not for sure. I don't know the details about that. But another group, they were going to do 45 minutes of weight training 3 times a week. And then there was another group that was going to do a combination of the two 3 times a week. And then the last group, the control group, they got to participate and they weren't going to do any exercise at all. Well, that person I was saying that didn't like exercise, he would have liked to be in that group right there. But here's what happened. Notice this, that this aerobic group, this walking group, they were able to reduce their A1C by 0.51, half a point. That's like going from an 8 to a 7.5. Now the weight training group, they went from down 0.38. Not quite as good, but if I look at that and I look at that third group and I'm going to combine the two, then it looks like it should be a drop in the A1C of 0.89, right? Is my arithmetic correct?
Yes.
0.89. Here's what happened. It was 0.97. There was a sign of a synergistic effect where it strengthened, each one strengthened the other and made them more productive. And of course the no exercise group, their A1C didn't change at all. So you need to practice strength training routine. Now this is from page 19 of an excellent book I know out there. When is the best time to do this type of exercise? By doing this after meals, I've discovered I can maintain better blood glucose levels. I am up to 8 exercises 3 times a week and 4 sets of repetitions for each exercise. I do several exercises for about 15 minutes after 2 meals a day. Now I should do it after every meal, but at least I'm getting 2 in. I'm sorry to say I didn't have time to do it after I had my supper tonight. And as a result, my blood sugar is 152. But I took a little extra insulin to try to keep it from getting too high. But if I had taken done the weight training, I wouldn't have needed to take any extra insulin. I would be less than that right now. And so what you do is do the upper body one day, do the lower body the next day, okay? And I was saying, I think when we first met, that I had strained a muscle. That's because I became too enthusiastic about what I was doing. And I was doing the upper body every single day. Well, you know, I wasn't giving the muscle time to build and to repair and to rejuvenate as it's supposed to. You don't do it every day. That's why I'm saying the upper body in the morning, one day, and the lower body the next day, okay? From this diabetes expert on fitness, Dr. Sherry Colbert, she says that the muscle contractions themselves trigger an alternate pathway that gets glucose from the blood into active muscle without using insulin at all. And your muscle can continue to bring in more glucose without insulin initially for a period of time after the exercise, typically 2 hours to much longer, depending on how much you do, okay? And so, this muscle contractions, they uptake glucose without insulin, and muscle contractions also make insulin far more effective. Less is needed, okay? And so you're doing these exercises where you're expending energy to do them, that depletes what energy you have stored in your muscle. It's called glycogen, and it needs to be replenished. It's taken from the blood, and here's just the animation of it. You've got the contractions taking place in your muscles, as you can see there. I'm doing this exercise. I've got my neoprene dumbbells, and I'm working at it. And then that initiates, once you're through, these GLUT4 transporters, okay? They come to the membrane, they come to the surface part, and look what they do. They connect themselves there, they go to the surface, and what they do is open up an avenue for the glucose to come out of the blood into your muscle. That reduces the level of your blood sugar that you would prick your finger and find out where you are. And so there's the avenue through exercise. Now you can combine that with insulin, because there are little keys. The insulin opens up the little keys in an avenue to bring glucose from the blood into your muscle also. You've got both of them. Well, it's kind of like the two different kinds of exercise that we looked at, the synergistic effect. They both, independently, you can see what they do. But you combine them, and look what happens. So, I've heard of people being diagnosed with diabetes. The first thing, they go to a doctor. The first thing they do is prescribe metformin, usually. Well, I had a doctor that came to this seminar, and he decided from hearing all of this that what he was going to start prescribing was get yourself a pedometer. Start walking. Try that first, see? Try that. After your meal, do it. And you may not even have to take that medicine. I'm not saying you won't, but you may not have to. So get yourself a small neoprene dumbbell. Does everyone see I've got some up here? They're kind of bright. The orange is 8 pounds. The 6 is a 6 pound. And the pink is 3 pound. Okay, so you don't want to start too big. Start small. You get a 3, a 5, a 6, an 8, a 10, a 12, a 15. You don't want to start with the heavy ones. So again, God's design of the body, think of your muscles like a gas tank in a car. But in the body, it's a glucose tank. And with muscle contractions, insulin sensitivity increases like miles per gallon in a car. And so much of that age-related decline in muscle mass can be halted and even reversed by strength training. And again, you have here's an exercise. I've got a handout for this, by the way. You can take this home, the deltoid muscle right here. And you can do these. And they're really easy to do if you don't have a weight in your hand. Yeah. You can do this for your legs. And hey, I hadn't been doing that for a while. And the other day, several days ago, I got a pretty heavy weight, and I started doing these squats. And guess what happened to my legs? They got sore. I should have started with a lighter weight. Do your biceps right there. Do a few of them. Hey, you can go up to Walmart and have you ever seen those weights at Walmart, Shane? Mm-hmm. And they're selling them now. During the COVID thing, they weren't selling them. Of course, they didn't want people.
They're collecting dust right now. I haven't used it since I bought them.
Okay. Well, anyway, you can, and here's another lower body, and you can actually, you see where she's got her legs up like that? You can take a small weight and put it in between your knees, and then you can keep your neck, your head down on the floor, and you can lift up with your knees off the ground with that little weight in there, and that gets the lower abdomen, and the other, what she's doing, it gets the upper abdomen. Okay. And here's something for your chest. There's other kind of chest exercises. This is the tricep, and try it. It's strange to do that. The back of the arm, the tricep. Now, if you really got enthusiastic and you wanted to really get into this, you could get this book, The Ultimate Dumbbell Exercises. 21,000 moves designed to build muscle, increase strength, and burn fat. And it's illustrated, by the way. And that's why I'm telling you about these little differences there. So remember, you can get better mileage when you combine this with this strength training. And it makes your insulin more effective. There's another kind of exercise you can do too as you're going out and you're doing your walking. You can take just a little portion of that time of walk and speed up a little bit. That's called interval exercise. And that way you get your heart, you're exercising your heart more. The other, more of a leisure walk, is taking care of the blood sugar, okay? But if you go a little bit faster, you can do, and just for a little ways, and then go back to your regular pace. Sometimes I do it for a half a block, something like that. And then you go back to your regular pace. And you can do that when you go out and take a walk. And so you can see what happens. There's fat burning, glucose improving, blood glucose control, strengthening the heart, extending the calorie burning power of muscles after workouts. But you've got to be motivated to do this, and you need to make it fun. So what I do, I've got a Boston Terrier, and I like to take my Boston Terrier out, but I've only got one. Wow. I'm really looking to get another one, and maybe up to 7. I don't know. Is that what they're telling me? That's got to be a male and a female and their pup. A male and a female and a couple of pups, because they got those 2 males